Ba 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 ba. Nah, I can't be arsed with it. It's news time, you shits. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, delete as applicable. I am your host, Vox Slapchest, and this is my co-host, Bob. Hi, Bob. Say hello. Oh, that's disgusting. I apologise, folks, for those classless remarks, but you see, Bob here is the thing that lives under your bed. Yours, specifically yours. And tonight, when you're lying there, he's going to scutter back under it and disturb your dreams with horrific screams and strange squelching. No, he's alright, ain't you? You're alright, Bob, aren't you? Little little shit. Right, anyway. On with the news. You're probably wondering why I have gone completely insane and am now living in what appears to be some sort of horrific version of Sesame Street. Well, I am so fucking tired that I'm not entirely certain whether or not I'm the only one seeing Bob and his mates here. Yeah, I haven't really slept. I'm on about 2 hours sleep a night, and I have been for ever. So I'm a little bit fuzzy around the edges at the moment. But the thing is, the kids are having a bit of a hard time. They're basically nocturnal at this point. I mean, it's like living with a couple of fruit bats, but they only flap their way out of their cave to find Twixes and YouTube and maybe Lego. We're trying to stick to a routine. We're trying to keep things as normal as possible, but at the same time, I'm not beating myself up over the fact that things aren't normal right now. I mean, they're not. The world is on fire, and it's bizarre, and it's scary and strange, and everyone's feeling it. So basically what I wanted to say is that I saw a series of tweets today from, I believe it's the African Institute for Glasgow Amenities. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure it was AIGA, and it was something to do with design. Now, they were suggesting that design students who are qualifying right about now, if asked in interviews how they spent their time during the COVID pandemic, shouldn't necessarily be saying that they just played the Xbox or learnt to code. Although why learnt to code is considered fruitless, I don't know, because that's useful. But anyway, if they're asked and they say, oh, I created something or I learned something new, then that's a better way of putting themselves across and they'll be judged better. What do you think about it, Bob? Yeah, you're right, it is a steaming pile of horse shit. Because the thing is, if all you can do is cope right now, you don't have to learn a language or figure out how to play the cello or find a way to pogo stick across the fucking land on your turgid member. You don't have to do any of that. As long as you just do your best and try and survive. So that's what we're doing. That's all anyone's doing, really. And you'll see people who are saying, it's like, oh yes, I did this today and I'm decorating the blah and the blah. That's great. That's their way of coping. But if you're not able to do that, then don't beat yourself up over it. Do your best. If you're struggling, reach out to someone. Fuck it, reach out to me at al_vim on Twitter or Facebook message me and say, hey, I'm not doing so good. And I will reply. The reply might be, fuck off, I'm not doing too well either, but at least you tried. So there we go. Isn't that right, Bob? You can't call them that. They're just trying to enjoy the news. Hang your head in shame. Anyway, on with the news. Now, what do we got here? Right, this is a group of bastards. I mean, they're not. They're just protesters. This is a stock image from Pexels. But these bastards are representative of an actual group of bastards who are the bastards who refuse to stay home when they should. Now, I got so pissed off by all of this that I wrote a poem. Open wide, Bob. And if I figured it out, then it will be here in Bob's mouth somewhere. And if I haven't figured it out, then it will look like I'm trying to load a large imaginary breast into Bob's mouth, which is slightly creepy. But the point being that if I get it right, the card will be here. You'll be able to jump to my poem, which is a YouTube reading that I did. And if it's not right, well, it'll be in the links below somewhere. Bastards. That's the important part. Stop going outside when you don't need to. Do not shop unnecessarily. Do not go to see wee Timmy down the road and lick his eyeballs. Do not go to the sex party you got invited to at the big sex party house for sex partiers. I don't know what people get up to these days. I'm basically a fucking hermit as it is. Look at me, I'm talking to a puppet. But the point is... Sorry, Bob, you're alright. Yeah, just don't. Be good and stay home. That seem fair? Yeah. But they're not doing that. Now, all we were asked to do was stop. COVID-19, stop. It's right there, it's in the fucking picture. And they're refusing to, and they keep going out and doing stupid things. So, we're going to end up with harsher measures. Police apparently are introducing measures where they can search your shopping trolley. Northumberland Police, I believe, or Northampton. One of the Norths. North Korea, I don't know. But they are introducing measures where they can search your shopping trolley to make sure that you're only buying essentials. Now, point of order, I would say that you don't only have to buy essentials. If you're going out to buy essentials, and while you're out there you want to pick up a gold-plated cock ring and half a case of Monster, then, go for broke. But, sorry, cover your ears, Bob, you don't need to hear this. Gold-plated cock ring. Yeah, that's all fine, but don't go out if you don't need anything in particular. And just, like France, you can't even, fuck joggers, they can't jog. Why? France has had to ban daytime exercise because people were abusing the privilege. So just be sensible, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Now on to another piece of news which is causing much chagrin across the nation at the moment. An accurate representation of my life savings, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, got a bit tongue-tied there, Bob. Yeah, look at your tongue. Ow! Dick. So, okay. MPs can claim up to about £26,000 in expenses per year, right? Which is a lot of money. And they're already overpaid, a lot would say. Yeah. It was reported today that MPs are being given £10,000 to work from home, which sounds like, Boris Johnson, or, well, not Boris, because he's currently still in ICU. And point of order, I hope he gets well. I really do, because I don't like the guy, and I don't think he should be leading the country. And I think as soon as this thing's over and we get to the next elections, I'm hoping like Christ that he gets voted out and we get someone better suited for the job. That being said, he is a human being. He is working under exceptional circumstances, and I think they're all doing their best, even if they're not always getting it right. And, he's a person with a kid on the way and another 152 children wandering the countryside somewhere. So, don't be dicks. I've seen tweets calling for him to die. I've seen one very funny one where someone put, no, it's actually the Boris which actually I didn't see, Ed told me about. So that was humorous, but at least that wasn't an actual threat on his life. So, but yeah, just be halfway decent and don't, what do you think about Boris Johnson, Bob? That's disgusting. Despicable. Anyway, get well soon, Boris, and then get back in to number 10, get us out of this thing, and then get voted out and fuck off and never come back. Okay? Deal. Going back to the MPs, they're getting an extra 10 grand in expenses, right? Someone hasn't turned up and just made it rain with a sheaf of 50s. They are allowed to claim up to an extra £10,000 on top of the £26,000 they already claim, as far as I know. And yes, most of them could probably afford to buy whatever it is they need, but it's not how it works. I've got friends who are currently working on getting equipment out to workers from their companies because those workers are not normally equipped to work from home. The same situation could be said of the MPs. They might not have a PC at home. They might not have office stuff. See, they're going to need equipment. I'm not looking at my dick, am I, Bob? I am not looking at my dick, am I, Bob? Better. No, this is where the keyboard is, look. See? And I press the buttons and it makes the pictures go. Ta-da! See, they might need this. They may need a laptop. I mean, let's be fair. Some of these MPs, we keep hearing stories about them being into all sorts of weird things. And I'm not kink shaming. I'm fairly sex positive. Actually, I'm very sex positive. Do what you like. As long as you're not hurting anyone or doing anything immoral, unethical, or illegal. But that being said, like, do you want, wee fucking Davy McPolitic with his penchant for badger buggery accessing the Treasury files to get you paid your small grants business application from the same computer that he just watched fucking Hot and Horny for Horses Part 4, the restabling? Like, you don't want that because that's not secure. You want a laptop that is made secure by a qualified IT professional and created for purpose and handed to him, and etc. They will need secure links and things like that, so they may need to buy him a laptop, right? He might not have anywhere to work, so he might need a desk and a wee chair, because he might not be set up for this, because he doesn't normally work from home, because he can't be trusted, because he'll be too busy jerking off to walrus porn, and you don't want that, okay? You want him focused in a place that's away from his family, not for the walrus porn, for the work home, although you also want him away from his family for the walrus porn, because they shouldn't have to go through that. Davey's a fucking animal, but either way, there may be stuff that they need to get, right? Might need a camel. I mean, everyone needs a camel at some point. The point is that no matter what's going on, yes, you can argue that they're overpaid. Yes, you can argue that they don't need an extra £10,000 in expenses to deal with this crisis. Yes, you can argue all of these things. And I don't necessarily disagree with your points. But there was a false equivalence being represented on social media where people are screaming about the MPs being paid too much and screaming about the fact that we have nurses in this country who were forced to wear trash bags because they didn't have the proper protective equipment. Now that's fucking disgusting. There is no way in hell that that should be. And that sickens me. And Bob had some choice words for them, didn't you, Bob? Yeah. With a fucking tire iron as well. So, the two are not linked. If we don't give the MPs the extra expense money, the nurses don't get it. Okay? It's the same as nurses. They're talking about no pay rise for nurses. And it's not the right time to talk about the pay rise. But if you don't pay the MPs the 10 grand, the nurses don't get an extra wad of cash in their pay packet. They deserve it. But it's not how the system works. Wish it did. You can lobby for the system to change. You can argue that. And I'll fight your corner. I'll be right there with you. You can lobby for nurses to get massive pay rises and bonuses after all of this and all the support that they need. And I will agree with all of that and more. I will fight that fight until I die. But the two aren't linked. And I'm not saying... If you want to go online and say, look, this is fucking ridiculous and this is how it should be, do it. It's your social media. Bob. Steady. But the problem is, you're just upsetting yourselves over things that aren't connected. It's the same as the argument that goes around all the time, that soldiers are only paid this, and police are only paid this, and the nurses are only paid this, and doctors are only paid this, but footballers get £1 bajillion a day. Is that right? Is it fair? No. Footballers are paid far too much. They, even if they are athletes at the top of their game, there are athletes at the top of their game in other sports who get paid next to fuck all. Why? Because football is a money-making machine. We know this. It doesn't matter. If you choose to support it, great. I don't. I'd rather watch wrestling. If you didn't see the Boneyard match with Undertaker at WrestleMania, fucking watch it. It was a piece of mastery. But anyway, I like wrestling. I like darts because I play it. I like esports because I'm a video gamer. These are the things that I enjoy. Footballers get way too much money. That's not in question. But it doesn't matter, because if they get less money, that money doesn't go to the people who deserve it. That money just isn't there. So there's no point arguing the two together and trying to call for them to... Because the problem is, when you do that, people ignore it. Because they're like, yeah, but it's not... People think what I think. It's like, but they're not linked. It doesn't work. Now, yeah, you're just talking about how unfair it all is, and that's fine. You're allowed to. Oh, Bob's falling asleep. Look. Dozy Bob. Get off me fucking fingers. But, yeah, it doesn't work like that. So, I would say, here's what you actually do. Stop posting that shit on... Or don't stop. Post it what you like on your social media. I don't give a fuck about you and your Facebook page. But, write to your MP. Bombard every member of parliament you can get hold of the contact details for. If there's a petition going, sign the petition. If there's not a petition going, start a petition. Don't just start another petition, because I usually find that whenever something like this happens, there's 20 petitions going, which means that, 10,000 people sign each of them, but it would have been 200,000 if everyone had signed the same one. Roughly. I mean, I know the math doesn't quite pan out, but you get the idea. Do something productive if you want to, or if you just feel angry about it and want to rage about it, then fine, because everyone deserves to vent, and I get that, but just realise that the two are not linked. Just like leaving the EU doesn't mean the NHS will get an extra $350 million, or pounds even. We don't want dollars. Yeah, you get the bit. Anyway, Bob, where are you going? Come here. There we go. Look, he's a tired Bob. Look, it's all shit out there, folks. We know this, but just do your best. And before we go, should we have a little look at the weather, Bob? Okay, let's have a little look at the weather. Oh, fuck! Time's broken, and we're just whirling through an endless void towards a black hole of doom! Fuck it. We've had a good innings. Look, folks, until next time, stay safe, stay well, and stay the fuck indoors. Say bye, Bob. Oh, that's vile.